Welcome back. So, with Drea, Harakai, Daario, and Bjorn inside a cave surrounded by Bjorn's magical dome, you guys have been discussing.
That's the official name from now on.
Have been discussing potential plans, potential theories, and options. Where has half of the fate chosen decided to do? Okay.
So I think we decided we're going to scout the cave while we come up with our grand plan. That we agree?
Sure.
But if you use your wild shape, are you going to be able to do anything else with it?
No, I'll have to have a short rest. But I can have an hour short rest if you guys are still in there because Harakai's breaking the key.
Okay, you got both.
Yeah, but how many hours are we going to spend here?
Good question.
We've got 7 hours left.
1 hour because we spent 1 hour to have a short rest.
Yeah, so because it doesn't last 8
Yeah,
hours.
that's your hour to get back. That was flying, mind you.
So for 6 hours, including the way back.
5 hours. I'm just scout the cave. I'm just wondering if you're going to need your wild shapes. That's all.
So just send Gaia.
Good.
Oh, this is scary.
Well, if she finds anything, you'll let us know.
There might also be a path that could lead us to this. Worth it.
Some guy, send her through.
Summoning Gaia and sending her down the narrow corridor that's behind you guys. The dome itself actually envelops the corridor. So if you guys did want to leave, nothing would technically be able to pass through the barrier because the barrier is filling the corridor. As Gaia steps out and disappears into the darkness. Are you looking through her eyes or just talking to her? No, you can't look through her eyes. That was the other guy.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. You were the one. Is it the same as Boulder's connection with her, or
No.
Oh.
okay?
She disappears into the darkness. Get back. The flashes of water, salty, cold air. She seems to be gone for a good 5 minutes as you guys get to work. Harakai, are you working? Have you decided you're going to get working on the key?
Before that, so like, are we even gonna use this? If I spend resources making a key and we're not even gonna use it, there's not really any point.
I think it's a good backup plan.
But I
It's up
mean,
to you.
there's not really much time for a backup plan. I mean, if we do one plan, he figures it out, then the second plan's not gonna go any better.
How hard is it for you to make?
How hard would it be for me to make?
You'd be able to make it within 4 hours, but it would cost a fair bit of material. And Barbossa never have, you can speculate that he has never seen the key before. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I mean, assuming that he's never seen the key before, about 4 hours.
I don't know if we have that much time. Still have to journey back.
Well, here's my theory at the moment. So, the way I see it is that at the moment we have leverage over Barbossa with the key. And yes, he has our friends, I understand that, but even if we give him the key and he takes the airship, he's not going to be able to venture the world like he thinks he will be able to. He'll only be able to make it to that hour now, I'd assume, by the size of that ship. So, really, he needs me, at least.
Maybe that's all he needs. Escape the island. Clearly he doesn't want to touch the water again, so the pirate king dance will come for him.
Well, I don't think the citizens of Arna are going to be friendly to a skeleton man. just a theory. But I think if he really does want the freedom he's been talking about, he'd need a bigger ship. Which he can only get through me. Which means he'd have to keep me alive. But
no one else.
unless...
Unless what? You convince him that you won't do what he asks unless he keeps all of us alive.
Unless I threaten my own life if he takes any of yours.
As Harakai finishes that sentence, communication from Gaia flashes, light, water, lots of it, and then there's a pause. Death, living, alive,
Drowners. Is that the impression I get?
bone, flashes through your head.
The skeletons down there.
One.
Or the undead.
Singular
Just the one.
flashes through your mind.
Seems odd. Unless he's searching for the key. Guess that makes sense.
Is Gaia okay? Is she in trouble, or...?
You get the feeling of hostile. She's down in the shadows, observing. She is curious, but aware at the same time.
Try and find out his intentions.
You feel a jolt, small jolt of excitement. Lifeless, you feel flashing through your head. Not dangerous, you feel flashing through your head. Disinterested.
Disinterested in
Gaia, you feel openly comes out of the shadows. You get flashes of a dark cave, a skeleton hunched over, and underneath his wide brim hat, empty eye sockets meet Gaia's eyes before turning back away and watching the pool of water that is half submerged in.
Seems like another cursed soul. Maybe something like squid. Might be worth a look. Doesn't seem dangerous.
Alright. Who's gonna go?
Well, I cannot. If I leave the dome, it disappears, but assuming there's no exit through the other side, then this dome should hold any drowners that come after you.
And am I gonna be making the key or not?
I don't think we have that time.
Alright, then I'll go.
I'll go with you if you want.
Come on.
I'll be here. Pay attention to Gaia. She'll let you know if I'm in distress. I should do the same for you.
Shall I stay? Or shall I go? I am a probationary
Please go.
member.
Whoa! Where did you come from?
Please go.
I think I might stay actually. I need a short rest.
No.
Yeah, I need a rest.
I mean, there's no reason for three of us to go.
Yeah, no.
Can you see in the cave?
I'd rather take on the drowners.
Can I see in the cave?
You have dark sight?
Are you human?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be an issue. I've got my light bulbs.
No.
Alright, let's head out, I guess.
Yes. If we see any crystals, I'm sorry.
Crystals?
If
Yes.
you,
To remind you that you don't know what's happening with your friend. They could be dead. You could be wasting precious time right now as you guys make lightheartedness of the situation.
But
You remember that your friend just recently nearly got executed.
we gave his word till dawn. We've got hours.
We should break.
Alright, well, let's go.
And we'll keep an eye for.
Who's heading out?
Me and Dario.
Harakai and Daario, you head out of Bjorn's circle into the darkness.
Bjorn's magical dome. That's what it's called.
Out of the into the darkness, the tight, narrow cave. You find yourself side by side for about 5 minutes before a dull, pulsing glow at the end of the tunnel illuminates a left turn. Gaia appears in the shadows, a hulking large figure about 200 meters away from you guys.
They've arrived. Oh, dead trail.
As Harakai moves towards Gaia, he's just gonna say, "Look, is there anything worth looking at here, or is it just a skeleton?"
She looks over to the empty, what at first glance looks like an empty room. You can see from where you guys are now next to Gaia, clusters of crystals line the inside of the cave, pulsating and glowing in dark green and dark purple colours. You can hear the sound of rushing water and the swirl of water coming in and then coming back out as the waves outside crash onto the mountain. At the end of the cave, so you guys have entered through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, this is all water here. Sits a skeleton, knee deep in water, as it sits on a rock, hat on his head, staring into the water that's rising up, almost coming up to his chest, before he gets dragged away with the current. Gaia walks cautiously but quite openly up to the edge of the water here, looking over the gap at the skeleton, who simply looks up at her again. You've bought, yes, dog. I can hear you. Don't be shy now.
Okay. Well, we were just passing through. I don't think there's really anything here.
Nothing but me.
Hmm.
What's left of me? He says as he sits up a little bit and motions to his body. Bits of clothes still hang on, tattered and ripped to his body. And as the swirl dies away or gets pulled through the hole, you can see around his ankle a chain and 2 cannonballs secured around his right foot, around his right ankle, before the swirl comes back up, dragging seaweed and other shells up and back out, almost pulsating at the same time with the crystals that light the room.
How long have you been down here for?
Years, hundreds,
You wish to be set free?
I've lost all hope. Can you kill me? No. How can you kill someone that's already dead?
Well, look, we're going to try and kill Barbossa, which would hopefully kill you.
In the nicest way possible.
He scoffs softly. I'll see you again. Raised up, animated like me. And tell me how your attempts went. Did they fail like mine?
You've tried to kill Barbossa?
I have.
Is there anything you can tell us about him? Anything we can know that could help us?
Motions a barnacle covered arm across from him. Have a seat. I have time. And he motions to some rocks opposite of him. The swell submerges them and gets pulled back down.
Look, he's got two of our friends, and we're running a little low on time, and also I don't want to get wet. So, could you just tell us, please, or at least try to help us? Help you.
There's an entrance through here, as he points to the pool of water. And you guys watch as the water gets pulled down. There is, in fact, it gets pulled down to a rocky, tight, narrow hole in the ground before the current comes back up and fills the chamber.
Into the camp.
Behind the bloody grail. Barbossa's ship.
Through the water?
I was sucked through it. Brought to this cave. Where I rest now. Neither dead, nor dying, nor living.
Do you know if there's any drowners in the cave?
I haven't been there for some time, but I doubt.
Is there anything else you can tell us? It's very helpful, but we need all the help we can get.
How do you plan on killing him?
Well, we believe that the source of his power is from his monkey. So,
That damned monkey.
did you try and kill the monkey or kill Barbossa in your attempt?
I tried to kill Barbossa. But now, knowing what I know, the monkey is your truth. I was his best mate, you know, when we were living. Sailing together, part of the Royal Navy. We came across some Norskins. Our ship was raided. She was sunk. And that's when I saw him. The Pirate King. I thought it Tails at first, but he was there waiting for us at the bottom of the locker. You do not dare to ask me to play with him. I was righteous then in my life, a true believer of Sigma. Death did not scare me. I knew too it was just a stepping stone to my final resting place. And I saw it, he says, staring off in the distance. You can, even without his skin and his flesh, you can see him lost in thought and memories. The Eternal City. I was at its gates. I would be finally embraced by Sigma. And my soul was clawed back to my rotten body upon this forsaken island, brought back by my once best of friends. He always scolded me for my belief. Told me there was no afterlife, and it was all folly. I saw it with my own eyes. He wouldn't listen. Brought me back to sail the seas eternally with him, he said. He'd made a deal. And he'd found a way, a loophole, to get out of that bargain and never return to the sea. I refused naturally, fought him, and eventually turned on my best friend. And when my attempt at putting him down failed, he had his men chain me up and throw me to the depths of the sea, where I'd spend the rest of eternity crushing against the waves. Drowning, but never dying. So I was washed. Well, washed through this.
Wait, you're saying Sigma is real?
The Eternal City is real. Surely that means he, the most magnificent, is real.
Look, I need to talk to you more.
Have a seat. I've got time, as I said.
Don't you want a second chance of finishing what you started? With Barbossa, freeing all of these people, getting back?
Most of them don't want to be freed, kid. No one stood beside me.
But we are now. Like I said, he's got our friends. We need to get rid of him. And look, we're desperate. Alright?
Oh, I've given you away.
Couldn't you come with us?
I'm done fighting. I'm tired. This cave is the most joy I've found in the last 100 years. How many dead has he raised anyway by now? Probably over the thousands. The washed up bastards come to this island, only to be raised again in eternal service to that scum.
But don't you want to get back?
To where?
To the Eternal City, like you said.
I do. Go kill him. Let me rest.
And you're not willing to fight for that?
I've fought many times. It wasn't just one attempt.
Well, what's one more?
A waste of my infinite time.
Come on, just do it. Just help us. Why won't you help us?
Make a persuasion check.
How much time has passed?
It was only 5 minutes there to this cave. You know, this conversation maybe 10 minutes. 10 minutes tops. Gaia is still with them. And she gives you flashes of... She's cautious, but there's no current threat. She doesn't feel threatened.
Got a 12.
I send a mild thing of urgency.
You hear her low growl. She snaps at your legs, Daario, softly, before she turns around looking back to where you guys came, or turning back again.
So it was 5 minutes from where we were.
Yeah, it's been 15 minutes total now with this conversation.
Alright, I'll if I got a pack guy, would you buy me?
Try and find out.
I put my hand out towards Guy.
Rips his arm off.
She's facing the skeleton, on alert, and she doesn't react when you put your hand on her head.
I walk up to well, I'll take a step closer towards Harakai. I think Bjorn's trying to tell us something. A guy's trying to tell us something. I might make my way back, check on them. I'll be back here in about 10 minutes.
Alright.
I'll leave Guy, and then I'll start making my way back.
Okay. 12. I have helped you. I've given you away. Directly behind the bloody graveyard itself. You would say that's help, is it not?
It is, but... Have you heard of Grungy before?
The dwarven deity, I have.
Do you think he's real as well?
I've studied all religions. Read all sacred texts. Sigma is your only true savior. But who am I to tell you that? He hasn't done much saving, has he? Look at me. Anything's true if you believe it. Believe in it enough.
Look, thank you so much for that. I mean, I'd really love for you to be there. See that bastard die.
I might take a walk. I haven't been to outside of here for a few hundred years. I'm sure some sunlight could do well for my bones. He says, staring distantly into the water as it swells up again, or being sucked back in.
And he's chained to the ground with...
He's not chained to the ground, he's chained around his ankle. There is a chain and 2 cannonballs that's chained around his ankle. And he was thrown into the water by Barbossa's men to keep him down there. And he was washed up through this hole and come up into this cave.
Harakai's gonna jump down and walk over to him.
The water swirls around you, cold and icy, as it goes up your legs, up your thighs, up to your hips, almost floating you a little bit before it subsides again. You make it over to him.
You said anything's true if you believe in it, right? Well, I believe that me and my friends are gonna get out of here, and I believe you're gonna get your second chance at killing that bastard. And Haragai's pulled out his hammer and he's going to try and break the chain on the cannibal.
Make a strength check
You're going
and add your weapon proficiency to that roll.
First off, attack roll. That'll be worked out.
Oh yeah.
24.
You hit the chain. Where do you want to break it? Like hit around his ankle, or like hit the chain in the middle?
Just around his ankle, like where I can get it.
You hit the chain where the rivet holds the two bands together. Your hammer comes down hard and true, slamming it, breaking open the chain, shuddering it in two as it falls around his ankle with a loud crack. You guys hear this echoing through, almost like metal on metal, like a hammer hitting an anvil. It echoes through. He looks slowly down to his foot, or finally looking up to you at his side. All right.
So you coming?
Well, I guess there's nothing weighing me down now, is there? He gets up, his bones cracking and creaking. He really hasn't moved for quite a while from here.
No, I wish you were alive.
Me too, what's it? That or... And he just trails off.
Alright, let's get back. I'll introduce you to the party.
They're not going to freak out.
They should.
I don't think my bones can handle it.
Well, just gotta believe, right?
He chuckles before he nods his head at you and follows you.
What's his name? What's your name?
I don't remember. But if I could pick one, it'd be Azir, the name of the Eternal City.
You know, you remind me of one of my old friends. He believed. His name was Athos.
Is your friend with you now? Understanding passes through, even though there's no emotion or, you know, flesh and bone to emote emotion. He puts a bony hand awkwardly on your shoulder. He hasn't had social interaction for quite a while. And trust me, he's in a better place than I envy you.
Alright, let's go.
Gaia turns before you make a turn, makes it down. Flashes of her returning, like flashes of you, as she signals that she's returning back to you, as Azir follows you down the dark hallway. And eventually, you expecting company, you guys see Harakai, and behind him a tall, bony structure, a tall, bony figure shadows him as they come closer towards you guys. The only thing left, scraps of clothes and a black, tattered leather hat on his head.
Now, because I didn't cast the hut while he was, like, dome, while he was there, technically he can't walk in, but I don't know.
And you can't see him, right?
No.
You can't see, yeah.
But I don't know if I could, like, expand the spell for that. I don't know. But,
Yeah, I would say you can give him permission to, you know.
but I wouldn't immediately.
Yeah.
So we're just outside where the dome is.
Yeah, you could walk in.
And whereabouts are your friends?
Like he'll see like an opaque.
Oh
logo.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Harakai's just gonna poke his head in.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Do you know how much she talks?
Yeah, sorry about that. But
Yes, I was telling him about my favorite crystal.
there's yep.
Don't get
So,
us started.
I've
please.
got a friend with us. His name's Azir.
Yeah, the bony guy.
Yeah, he's tried to fight Barbossa before and says that he'd be willing to help. He
Alright.
seems like a good person. And also there's another entrance through deeper in the cave.
The entrance to where?
Back behind the ship. Barbossa's ship.
So we sneak in.
Well, would you like to meet him first?
So I can expand it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wave my hand, and like that area of it becomes transparent, and he can walk in.
Mm.
Come in. It's nice and warm.
He
Which is
walks. I'm assuming you've made your way fully in. He walks with you, ducking his head. You know where it's clear. He ducks his head underneath it. He's quite tall for a human, and his tallness is exaggerated by his long bony limbs.
Mhm.
Hello.
looks like you've seen better times.
Long time ago.
Alright, Bjorn, Azir, Bjorn, Rhea, Azir, Rhea,
As
Daario. Azir, Daario.
And the pleasure is mine.
So we're sneaking in.
I guess so. I think that's our best shot.
And if we're found out, let's not forget again. They hold two of ours.
Do you know any way we could separate the monkey from the crowd? Or get to the monkey?
Or can you confirm that the monkey is the source of his power?
Yes, I can confirm. Before I was brought back, Barbossa made his deal with the Pirate King. He told me that he was on this island when he found a necromancer scuffling about in the shadows, living in caves. Had monkey with a green stone embedded in him. Barbossa killed him, and unbeknownst to me, he was also a practicer of dark magic. He bound the monkey to himself. His own heart is in that monkey, infused with the warp stone. That is how he is bound to him.
Barbossa's heart within the monkey.
Correct.
The monkey was the necromancer.
No.
Monkey was pet.
Oh, right. That makes a lot more sense. Thank you, Thalian.
Right, so how do we get him? How do we stop him? How do we get to the monkey?
Your guess is as good as mine. I've been here for 100 years.
Thought you said he was here to help.
He is. Look, he's got a secret passageway. At least that's something.
It just didn't serve him much by the looks of it.
Look, he's helping. We need all the help we can get.
This is my first contact in 100 years. And you.
The world hasn't gotten.
Cunt.
Oh, wow. Well, the world hasn't
I like
got any
this guy.
nicer, mate.
I think I'll return back to my cave.
Look, just stay. Come on, don't you want to see him? Don't you want to let your soul rest.
This cocky bastard die before he even gets it.
All right. Just settle down, all right? You are by far the most emotional skeleton I've ever met. Sensitive. Very sensitive. How about we approach on two fronts? I assume being a secret passage, Barbossa doesn't know. Right? But he's still expecting us at dawn, or he shoots our friends. How about we split the party?
What if
Barbossa never saw Daario and I.
And even if he did, we'll just claim you died. Plenty of drowners around.
Alright, so me and you go through the front with the key. And then you two go through the back. And then what? We distract them with the key. You guys fly and try and shoot the monkey.
Well, you're pretty sneaky, right? Sneak in, grab the monkey, but we distract Barbossa.
Still 100 skeletons. I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to sneak through that. And if it goes south, he's trapped.
I don't see any other way.
I do. Do you have any gunpowder? Any explosives? Just drop them to me. I'll borrow your nice coat there.
You will not.
Walk in there. Detonate myself next to the monkey.
Was this your original plan? How'd that work out?
I couldn't find it.
That could work.
I'm not sure. We are talking about warpstone here. An explosion could set off any sort of chaos, taking down, yes, the skeletons, perhaps Barbossa, also perhaps Kyler and Thalian.
Unless we get Thalian and
Yeah.
get in the airship. And be gone.
What if we go through the back? Azir goes through the front. We climb board Barbossa's ship. And then try and get Thalian out of there. And Kyler, and then get onto the airship.
Supposed to stay on the airship?
No, he stays on his ship. And the airship is strapped to that on top, almost like a head.
So that'd be near where Thalian is anyway, right?
How about you just all sneak in and I go through the front? Grab the bastard, detonate myself, and you fly off. Well, it'll be complicated.
Yeah, everyone should be in the airship. You just need to put the key in and get the hell out of there.
I mean, I'm game. Whatever. I mean, guy clearly wants to set some fireworks off.
I mean, they can shoot, but they can't fire.
Alright. Alright, we're gonna do it. Cool.
You have a code.
Question. When I
I'm
was
assuming
my
you know
awesome
this.
passive perception on
What-
Squid's
what's
ship,
this?
did we see gunpowder or anything? On
You
the
did
ship?
plenty of it on the second level of the ship. A lot of it has been soaked because of the tide that's been coming in, but there's a good chance that you would still find at least a barrel, which is, really all you would need.
I relay this one to you guys.
What was that, sorry?
There's lots of gunpowder on Squid's ship. Some of it might be wet, but we could still find.
Do you want to go back there?
I could.
Even if, we just send Drea as her
I could
eagle.
be back real fast.
Combining that with a few of my magic stones as well.
Wouldn't the gunpowder be wet?
There could be something salvageable. It's worth a look.
Oh, I forgot one thing. The
Go on.
hole is filled with water.
That's fine. We
Don't-
can water.
Don't
it.
worry about that.
Yeah. Fine.
Or you want to go through the water? You want the water breathe?
Then we can breathe underwater.
Wait, how are we going through the water? Sorry.
Yes, I'm quite curious myself.
Magic. Cast a spell, allowing us all to breathe underwater.
Chaos.
Some call it that.
That sounds great, but can't swim.
Why are you only bringing this up now?
Well, I've lived on an airship before. I've hardly ever seen water. I don't know how to swim.
Would Harakai be small
Oh.
enough to fit in the thingy, the opening there? If he was walking on water? Or is it filled with water?
It's like a hole that's filling up with water and then going back out. So perhaps when the tide's low, maybe there would be, the water in that would be low. But currently, what you guys saw with high tide,
Someone have a water breathing.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
can't swim.
We can't.
Or,
I've kind of been
I mean-
petrified this whole journey.
right, well, time to suck
You're
it up,
probably
dwarf.
heavy enough that you'll walk on the bottom.
Exactly what I was about to mention.
Sorry.
Maybe you've got some extra iron that you can strap to your boots.
Or we should just tie you to someone.
All that. I mean,
Okay.
it won't be fun, but at least you won't drown.
Alright. Cool. Just sorry, thought I'd bring that up.
I've known you for over a year. That's the first time you bring it up.
I've been
You've never
purposely-
seen him in a bath.
Any other
purposely-
confessions anyone wants to make? How about you there, Bones?
No.
Good.
Alright, well let's do it. You go fetch the gunpowder. And then let's prepare, I guess.
Adios.
Be quick though.
Yes, sir.
I still think it'll be suspicious sending Bones into the front when Barbossa's expecting us. Plus, how do we know we can trust him wholeheartedly? He could just walk in and say, "Hey, Barbossa, my old friend, we've got 3 live ones at the back of the bloody... What's it called? His ship?
Bloody Grail.
That's the one. Take me back. Let's be friends again."
Would you do that?
Do you have a
No.
better plan?
Inside check.
Yeah, roll.
17?
But he is 100% telling the truth.
Yeah, it does.
And when he talks about being in this cave for 100 years, he has been here for that time. Like, he just is over everything.
Look, you heard it yourself. That's enough for me. Just trust him.
I would swear on my heart.
What's he got to gain by telling me?
Swear on your pelvis. Then. That's pretty important.
I'm going back.
No, come on. Don't mind him. He can be a bit.
Oh, he's lying.
idiot sometimes.
He's lying, probably.
He's not lying.
What has
Just
he got to lose? Swear. You're a man of your word.
Swear on my path. However, keep in mind, these are
Well, I don't think we're going to get any better than that.
Alright, and what was the other issue you thought? Sending him through the front?
I mean, don't you think it's suspicious? It's 100 years? 100 years you've been in that cave? Yes? About that? And then the day we rock up and make an appearance and try to blackmail Captain Barbossa, perhaps kill him, he comes walking through the front door.
I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive, but I'm pretty sure most skeletons all look the same. Like, take away the hat and he looks like Jack.
Doesn't look anything like it.
He slowly takes off his hat. And he, as you're saying, he looks exactly like Jack.
I don't think they're gonna be able to tell.
Yes. That is a mystery.
Could just get that, Joe. Yeah. Meanwhile, while you guys are discussing this, what's happening here?
Okay, so I'm not gonna leave Thalian. Right. I think I'm gonna turn myself invisible.
You think, or are you going to turn yourself
I'm gonna
invisible?
turn myself invisible.
Okay.
I have to roll no tide of chaos. Unicorn.
What level we have?
At a second level spell.
Oh, second level.
Yes. Please don't be a 5 or 6. Oof. Okay, it's a 3. Okay. So while invisible, I want to wait. I want to approach the
mast?
The mast.
Yep.
And I want to climb up it.
So you climb up the side of the ship onto top deck, and invisible but still cautious and crouched, you make your way across the deck to the main mast.
If I pick up anything invisibility when I'm invisible, it's visible?
Correct.
Okay, so I won't pick up anything.
You find rigging on the mast, which you can easily climb up. And you want to make your way up?
Yes.
Easily, you make your way up, hammered by the wind and the rain, but unnoticed by the guards that are on top deck. You make your way to the top, and to the right of you, on the crossbeam, is where Thalian is hanging, and you can see him now. You're face to face with him as well. You know, same height as him, as his cage continues to swing wildly in the rain and the wind. However, any glance you get at his face, he just seems not asleep, but almost in his own world, content. And you can see the shell of the crab in his hands.
Can I hear the song, or is that just like
You
a
can hear
riff? Sorry, Thalian. Yes, we do stupid things for our friends sometimes. We gotta get to it. I'm going to attune to my magic, and I'm going to burn a second level spell slot.
You don't have any.
Was that my... No, I thought I had 2.
The last one.
That was my last one. Okay, in that case, I'm going to burn my 3rd level spell slot. And then burn... Wait, that's 6 sorcery points I think I have. Meta magic. And then I'm going to create a 4th level spell slot.
Mm-hmm. And then what are you planning to do?
I'm going to reach out to Thalian.
He's still like a while away. Like there's the cross, so there's the mast, and then there is the actual sail. So he's tied to the end of the crossbeam of the sail on top of the mast.
Can I like...
Yeah, you can go on the mast and kind of crawl on there.
Yeah.
And get to him. So he'd be directly below you. The string would only be probably about a meter long. And he's directly underneath you.
I want to get into like touch distance.
Mm-hmm. So you stretch yourself holding onto the mast as the wind blows and rain hammers you. Make an athletics check just to see if you can hold on, because it is going. Before you go up there, you can choose. It is quite dangerous because the wind is blowing. Being higher up, it is quite wild, and you're going to have to, belly crawl in the wild wind, being hammered by the rain.
So, Jay, will you make a 4th level spell slot? Because you won't have enough.
Yeah, I should have 6.
No. So burning a 3rd level, so you have 2. Burning a 3rd level gives you an extra 3, so you've only got 5.
I only have 2?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll burn another 1.
For 1.
Yeah.
Do another 1, and then create a 4th level.
Yeah, so I'll take all 6.
Would we have with the
Good
time waiting
Huh?
for
I
Daniel
think so, yeah.
and
It's so flexible. Mm. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because if you say you took it like away, guys,
Right.
before they left and stuff.
Do I
Yeah,
fall
that
to
would
my
be enough.
death?
Wait, you can choose before you go up there.
Can you tie to chaos yet?
No, I've already burnt Ties of the Chaos, and I haven't replenished it yet.
Good luck. Wait, does it replenish in a short rest? Sorry, this is important. I take it I would have had a short rest.
It's a long rest.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll it.
I mean, it sounds like Carla would definitely try. So
Is this buddy? Natural 20.
That's the second one.
Oh my god!
Really good. Holy good.
All right, determined, and your magic burning side. You hold yourself up onto a thick, slippery mast. Make sure you're gripped on there, and you start belly crawling across the mast until you're directly over Thalian. You make fast pace without, you're holding on so tight that even the toughest wind doesn't blow you off course. As you make your way to the edge, and you're directly above Thalian, you stretch yourself while holding on with one hand as much as you can, and you reach out to Thalian, and you can just touch the top of the cage. What are you going to do? Because you're still invisible. It doesn't obviously know there.
I mean,
You're going to have to shout. It's like raining, wind is...
unless you message.
Yeah, unless you're...
I will never leave a friend, no, family behind. Reach out.
I can't see you though.
Above.
You can tell where my voice is.
Alright, I slowly open my eyes. What are you doing, kid? What's the plan here?
The plan. There's Jack is starting rebellious. There's about 60 skeletons so far. I think we're both going to go to him. That's the plan. After I break you out. Now come on.
How do you plan to do that?
With magic. Remember? The whole Barbossa chokehold thing? Look, just put your faith in me. I'm not just a kid.
So what do we do?
Well, if we at least break out, Barbossa won't have leverage. That's important. That, I know you're breaking your promise to Harakai, but I think that's better than a promise. Because this will keep us safe.
Oh, break away or you break your neck.
Right. I'm gonna cast the dimension door.
Mm-hmm. So you have to be sorry, how does it work? You're touching him, and then or you cast the door, and then you guys go through it. Is that how it works?
Well, it's up to interpretation with like me and the DM, I suppose. Like,
Yeah.
It could be a door, or it could be like like an instant teleport, like Nightcrawler. So
No, I think it is. I think it is the gateway.
Oh,
So you open
yeah.
a gateway and it shuts. I'm pretty sure.
It's.
Well, that's how I've seen it explained anyway. But
I think it's like it depends. But
Just read out the spell.
All right, we'll do the gateway door thing. It's pretty cool.
All right, cool. All right, so you reach out, Thalian. You work your hand from awkwardly underneath you as you reach out past your face and out through the grates at the top, and you can just barely fit your hand through. And as you get it probably about halfway, you feel something brush your hands, and you feel Kyla's fingers on yours. As soon as you make contact, Kyla, you focus your energy casting the door in time with the wind. So as Thalian swings towards you, you swing it, you cast it on the other side of him, and closing your eyes, you let go of the mast as you fall free, hanging onto Thalian's hand as the wind takes you guys and swings you through the dimension door. You go through eyes closed. Where are you going? Where are you casting the other one?
The safest location.
Is it a ranged one or
500
500 feet? So probably the safest location from where you guys are would be behind the camp, behind the ship, because that's the closest edge to the ship.
Was that where Jack was heading towards?
You don't know where Jack was going. He was just saying he
Was that the
leaving.
last time I kind of left him? Was he kind
No,
of...
you were still in the ship, so you don't know where he was going.
I'll go there.
Yeah, that's the closest kind of spot outside of the camp.
Yeah.
So as you let go and you swing off your faith in your magic and in the tight bond of friendship, you let go, free falling through the air before your hand goes torn. You go through the gate, and as you open your eyes, you feel yourself free falling as the other gate opens, and you land on your feet with Thalian on the floor next to you.
Am I still in the cage?
Technically, I only teleport the person. Or
Okay.
the object.
No, but you're still like in your same kind of cramped position as you were. You guys land hard on the ground, and there's a second of disbelief before Kylie you turn around and you just see in bold red writing, even in the darkness of night, you can see it. The bloody grail etched onto the back of this ship, with a grail in the middle of it overflowing with blood. And you realise you are in fact outside the camp behind the ship.
Just...
Yeah, that was
That was awesome.
I had a -1 to my athletics checks as well, so I'm so glad I rolled that 20.
Yeah.
Well done. I was gonna say. Chaos?
Yeah. No, we're good.
Awesome.
Once Kyler is saving.
Well
everyone.
done.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Nice.
Well done. That was good.
Alright.
Right.
All right.
Meanwhile, we're walking on.
Yeah. So while that's happening, you've gone. It's a short trip to the ship.
Right.
You've grabbed. Are you going as Drea or are you going as?
No, I will go as. Would I be able to carry like one barrel per call kind of thing?
Yeah, they're pretty small, and usually they're secured by netting, like to the rear of the ship. So if you know the ship's
cool.
rolling around or stuff, you don't know obviously what the ship's been through, but you know once you get there, there's a few barrels around the ship, some floating in water,
grab a
but
net.
there is a few
Yeah.
still secured by the net. About 5 barrels still secured by the net. It looks like maybe the bottom ones would be wet, but probably your best choice to grab it, rip it off, and fly with that.
I'm going to do that.
Back to you get back to the entrance of the cave, and I'm guessing you change back. And as you do, you kind of twist the netting so it's a little bit tighter. You can heave it over your shoulder, super hard, as back breaking as you make your way into the cave with 5 barrels
Nice.
of cannon powder.
Nice.
Well,
Meanwhile, are you guys still in the dome?
yeah, while she was gone, Harakai would have been trying to figure out a way to strap the barrels on the inside of Bjorn's coat. He'll let us use it.
I will certainly not.
Look, it's we need to save them, and you're
This
obsessed.
is a fine, diligent coat. All right.
Finer
And
than Thalian's life.
Into
And
the
it's-
camp with barrels strapped to me. Can't be obvious.
why did you take somebody else's coat? This is.
He turns over to you,
It's sleeveless.
Dario.
It's barely going to hide anything.
Daario unclicks his cloak and hands it to.
Was it cloak or coat that you were after?
I think he said coat. But yeah, like, he just needs some piece of clothing to hide his
Don't you have any like random sales back there or something?
Random sales.
Like discarded sales, plenty of material there that you can wrap around yourself. Surely.
I think it's
Discounting
he
smoke.
nods to you and gives you his hat.
Put it on.
And he's like, give it well for me. And he wraps it around him. It falls like, it's way too big without any flesh and muscle. It's way too big, but perfect to get the barrels underneath there. And then, wrap it around him and close it or stitch it or something. Or, he can just hold it with the barrels in him.
Yeah.
And he can lift the barrels.
You'd be able to get a barrel underneath his ribcage and probably secure it to his spine, and he can put the cloak around him. And then maybe if you put some rocks in there, he suggests pile some rocks on top of it, or anything for maximum damage.
Yeah, Harakai's in the time that Dre was gone, Harakai's been trying to figure out a way to strap his magic stones into it, and
Yeah, stuff
same
some other
thing.
stuff between his
Yeah.
rib, maybe a bit more dirt and clothing to pack it all in there to make it explosive as possible.
Dara's actually going to go collect crystals to hopefully like use that as shrapnel as well, and for Drea.
You go in there, and the crystals are super hard. If you hit them with like the back of the hilt, you can crack them pretty easily. And then smacking it a few more times, it'll break, and it breaks into large, chunky, but like it breaks clean and very sharp. So yeah, you can break a whole chunk, and even off the once they're broken off the cluster, you can see the glow just dims and disappears, and it's almost like a creamy glass is what it looks like, a big chunky and quite heavy shard of glass.
Has also while Joe is gone, I don't know if I have enough time to do this, but Harakai would like to cast ritual cast detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
And does he get anything from the crystals?
You do.
Cool.
Not while they're broken though. If you want to go back into the cave and check them out.
Yeah, I'll just have a little peek.
Yeah. You get it's arcanic, but it's also very there's a essence of nature to it as well. It's like a mix of nature and magic that has formed these weird crystallites.
Do I get the sense that they're tied to the water?
It's probably definitely got something to do with the atmosphere, so probably the water coming in, probably the temperature and a substance of something. You're not quite sure what it would be. That has cultivated and grown these crystals.
Okay. If Harakai can and has enough time, he'd like to see like Daario struggling with his hilt, and Harakai just brings in his hammer and just smashes them.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna pocket a few for Thalian.
Okay, nice.
With like the shard ones like these, could I find one that I could like kind of dig around and pull out?
You find a smaller one, and using your dagger as a bit of a makeshift.
I don't have my dagger anymore.
Using your sword, or does Harakai have anything, or you can
like an arrow.
Yeah, you probably need something. The ground is quite, even though it's very wet in here, the ground is tough and dry. And digging it out, as you get to the bottom of a small cluster, there is worm-like roots that connect from the crystal into the ground. And when I mean worm, it's actually like worms, dark green, glowing, and there's a slimy coat all over them. They're not like dry roots, they're like almost living, and as you pull it out the ground, the roots or the worms like subtract back into the crystal, and the crystal does lose its dim, but where they've kind of subtracted to in the middle, there's still a dull gleam there. And like if you've pulled it out, and then if you bring it back to the ground, they know the ground's there, and they stretch back out, and the glow gets stronger and stronger as they touch the dirt. And then you pull it away, and they like creep back in, and it goes, it becomes dull again.
Could I possibly chuck in my backpack and chuck some dirt in there, almost to kind of like?
Yeah, you empty your backpack, chuck some dirt in there, and as soon as you place the doll in there, like if you place it on the side, the roots come out, find the ground, perch themselves in there, and like say the crystal's on its side, the roots go tense and heave the crystal back up straight. And you can hear like shuffling as the worms or the roots go deeper and deeper into the dirt, and stand up the crystal, and then your whole bag lights up with this. It's like a white, creamy color that's filled with all different colors as it glows and changes and pulsates through different spectrums of colors in your bag. And you could sit there for why, as he has been here, you could sit there for ages and just watch them glow as they reflect off the water and everything. It's awesome.
That's cool.
And you could fit probably like a good kilo of them in your bag.
I try to fit as many as I can.
Yeah, so about a kilo of them, which would be probably about 8 crystals or so.
Plus, I'll just carry a handful of shards in my hand.
Yeah.
To take back.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, Harakai, seeing that Dario's got them to maintain that glow, is going to follow suit and use the shards he picked for Thalian as the explosion thingo, and
Mhm.
then if he can dig one up himself, he'll give that to them.
Yep. Awesome. You dig up a nice 3-inch piece that's it's almost formed perfectly as a an octagon, like 8 clean straight sides that come to a point at the top.
Yes.
And quite skinny. It could be worn as a necklace or probably planted or something, or whatever he wants to do with it, I guess. Awesome. All right. So as you guys all do this, Drea comes back in huffing and puffing as at her feet, whatever material he can reach off her clothing, he's pulling the sacks, thinking he's helping, back into the dome. As you stuff the barrel, stuff Azir with dirt, rocks, these mysterious crystals, and strap. I'm assuming someone's got rope or something to lash the barrel to him.
I'm sure I have
Yeah,
that.
go on.
Yeah.
With who Dre is and her fascination of crystal, would she know what this crystal is?
This is the first time you've seen a crystal like this. You have a few hunches of what it could be, but you definitely need to be spending some time with it.
Okay.
But you are beyond excited and fascinated
Yeah.
right now. Az immediately tries to eat one of the worms. No,
Does he glow?
he doesn't he goes for it, and they fully go into the crystal.
Yeah.
And he just sits there like his mouth wide open, sticking his tongue into the hole. Awesome. So, are we ready to go then?
So, so how are we gonna know, or how are you gonna know when we're ready for you to?
Give me a signal. Scream, shout, take off in your ship.
Nah, they're on impact.
Could we shoot him? I don't mean to be insensitive at all, but we could trigger it
Take your
when
best
we're ready.
shot.
I'm not good at shooting.
Do you remember how long it will take to get to the camp?
I remember it being far. An hour and a half at most.
That should give us enough time to get to where we need to go, right?
Oh yeah, true.
Keep in mind you are going to the other side of the camp. You'll probably need a little bit more time.
Alright, well, walk slowly.
My old
Stretch
bones are
those
tight.
legs. Yeah, take your time.
So, this is it then. This is what we're doing. Are you going to shoot me? Do I detonate it myself once I have my hands on that bastard?
Well, the distraction would help. I shouldn't need to distract Barbossa beforehand, letting us do what we need to do.
Trying to blow up the monkey is a pretty big distraction.
If I can kill that bastard, we will all fall. Barbossa will still be alive and I'll have to deal with him, but he'll be maimed without his chromatic powers.
Do you know if he can see through illusions?
Yes, you can.
What about the monkey?
No.
Where does Barbossa usually hide? We've seen the monkey party with the skeletons.
Barbossa isn't a fan of people. He keeps to himself. Plotting and going over his mad plans. Thoughts of insanity run rampant in his head.
I'm still not sure one of us shouldn't go with him.
But then what? Then we're separate and we can't even get on the airship together. And if he's just gonna blow up.
What about the lizard?
No.
That's a good idea.
No.
I mean,
No. It's not happening.
I mean,
As is already in one of his eye sockets. And he's like... And he's like, you can tell he could smell the gunpowder and he's searching around for it.
If Az does this, then he will officially be a member of the Fate Chosen.
And what if he gets left behind?
Well,
Or blown up?
that would be most unfortunate. But a sacrifice I'm willing to.
No. I'll go.
No, we don't need anyone to go.
Fine.
Good, because Az is not going.
Alright. Let's go for a swim then. Are you ready?
Actually, one more thing. I just remembered that I've made these and haven't used them, so take this. And then I'll speak to you when we're ready.
Oh, what, the ascending stone?
Yeah, I have a set that I made. So, with an infusion.
There's a and reaches underneath his neck and reaches up into his skull. And you can just hear as he just throws it into the back of his head.
Smart. Alright, so...
It's almost like you're his brain now.
Yeah, that's kind of weird,
He's
actually.
conscious.
Alright.
Conscious.
Your message is his thoughts.
It's kind of weird.
Let's not think about it too much. Alright, so I can only use this once. I'll let you know when we're in position. And then we'll wait for you to detonate before...
You're going to give me some way of igniting myself. And then Az appears on his head, mouth black with soot, and he's like... and just blows out gunpowder out of his mouth. And he's like, I think he's found the barrel. And there's just a trail of gunpowder coming out from the bottom of his cloak. He's just somehow dug a hole through it. It's slow, but it's...
Can you mend it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can I cast mending?
Yeah,
on it?
you'd easily be able to plug it and, it
And
just stops.
Flint and steel work for him?
It's like a tinderbox.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny's just gonna get some broken test.
Perfect.
This is gonna work.
Closes his coat, like just fastens it up, and with that, it just looks like he's. Well, you can't see it like without the flesh, and sitting inside of him, and the coat not sitting on any flesh or anything. It's big enough for him to hide, and you guys are quite satisfied with the look.
Alright. I'll break a leg.
Heard that one time.
Rest well.
Yes, and should you not make it out of this, you're always welcome back here. It's been turned to talking about it.
Oh.
That's not gonna happen.
Yes.
Come on, at least act a little more convincing.
I have no skin or lips or eyebrows to come out, but my face is...
Okay, just stop.
It's really depressing. Really depressing. Alright, I trace an image of, like a runic image of a wave on that's tattooed over my lungs, and I'll begin casting the ritual for water breathing.
Now, how long does that take?
10 minutes.
Awesome. Alright, so as you cast your power through, is there anything else you guys would like to do before the spell's finished?
I just give Dre a crystal.
Awesome. Alright. As the spell finishes, you guys feel a... almost like, when you like sniff Vaseline or something and you sniff like salt or something and your nostrils expand.
Mm-hmm.
You guys feel that kind of clear burning sensation in your nasals and in the back of your throat as you finish up, Bjorn.
Alright, that should last for roughly 24 hours.
Harakai, are you getting tied to someone?
I think that'd be a good idea.
Got it.
I'm a good swimmer. So is Az.
Sure.
And you look down as he's currently trying to chew through the rope, doing all we can to get back to the gunpowder.
Wait.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. I tie us together.
Alright. See you on the other side then. Jack gives you one final salute as he begins making his way.
Oh.
Yeah.
I tilt my hat.
Yeah.
Before you guys, I'm just gonna grab him by the shoulder and turn around and be like, "Hopefully one day we'll see you in Azir."
I look forward to it. Friend.
So,
And he turns, and with that, makes his way inside.
I mean, it's a bit depressing, but
just stop talking. Just stop.
here's the
I
thing.
liked him.
Please just stop.
Once I drop this dome, the drowners will be on us. So it's a quick race
But
into
we're
the
not-
cave.
Are we technically breathing air underwater?
There's still oxygen in the water.
Oh.
So it's a quick race to the caves, into this tunnel,
Mhm.
and we're on our way. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Captain.
You guys begin making your way through the cave to the edge. Like you guys make a semicircle around the edge as the water flows up around your knees before being sucked back down, revealing the quite tight and narrow entrance to whatever causeway or anything is
So
underneath this.
we've dropped the dome and we've gone. We've
Oh, sorry, yeah. Did you guys want to do anything else? Or gone?
No, I think we're ready. I'm just saying, like, 'cause as soon as it drops, the drowners will be on us, right?
I
Correct.
said to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're booking it. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. And as you guys stand around, the water rising up to your waist, cold and chilling, freezing you guys, bringing up seaweed and all kinds of little crabs and shellfish and things like that. You guys hear the distant screams or shrieks of drowners. The water rushes back down. It's a pit of dark. It's a pit of blackness. That you know, there's the light of the crystals, but as you guys stare down into it, it's just a very despairing feeling in your guts. As the water, you can hear it rushing back through, fills it back up. What do you guys do?
As we're making our way there, Haraka's just gonna be like, is there anything I should know about swimming? Like any real quick pointers?
Don't panic.
That's gonna be a little hard.
Where they're standing, the water is like splashing onto your face as it hits the walls and
Haraka's like,
hits
"Don't do
everyone's
shit."
legs. The foam is thick and it makes that like popping sound as it settles on the rocks and gets sucked back in, which is almost loud and deafening itself as it's getting sucked back in and coming back out. It comes back out, splashing you in the face. Your head is still above it, but the force of it splutters everywhere as you guys are kind of waist deep in it at this point.
I just want to say, this is a terrible idea. I'm gonna go in.
All right, you step closer to the edge, and it comes in like this as it narrows down. You step in, you wait for the water. It's just gone out. You wait for it to come back up, and you time your jump perfectly. Just before it reaches your feet, you jump off, aiming for the middle, and you plunge into the icy cold water, sinking to the bottom.
Does it go down?
It's a direct drop, yeah. So like as you sink in, the walls are close enough to kind of push yourself down and down into the
Oh my god,
darkness.
this is feeling the freakiest thing.
Would I glow in the water?
Would who?
Would I glow in the water because of my backpack? Because of the crystals?
I'm presuming it's like leather, right? Like thick leather, so yeah, the light wouldn't quite glow out of it.
Before Drea jumps in, Haraka's just like, we can't see down there. I need to be able to see. Just 1 second.
As you're doing this, the water it begins getting sucked out, and with the force of it, as it's getting sucked out, you feel like a pulling sensation, and as it gets stronger and stronger, you're sucked down forcefully as the water, the current takes you down.
Is this a bad idea?
And quickly Harakai's gonna cast his dancing lights cantrip and
Yep.
just throw them in the water and let them sink.
You time it again as the water's coming back out, throwing them in there as they sink into the darkness. They light up the water underneath, the swirling dark water. It's lit, but it does nothing to give you any comfort. It probably makes your anxiety worse, as you can see this tight, claustrophobic space.
Let's go!
Okay. Oh my god.
And Dre jumps in.
Dre jumps in, pulling you in, as is like on your neck, like grabbing onto clothes in your ears. And you can see his guy's little goggles back out again as you guys go plunging to the ice cold water. You're kind of like still like, and you just get pulled forward going head first. And Dario, you're jumping behind them. And as you guys, Dario, you jump in behind them, ice cold water surrounding you, and you watch Harakai as one of the crystals just float about your face before it gets sucked in, and then a moment later, you just see Drea disappear into the darkness as you get rushed forward or pulled with her and through the water. And the last you see, Dario, is Harakai and Drea disappearing in the darkness as you're sucked hard and sucked through forcefully behind them.
Awesome.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh my gosh.
See you guys next week to find out who
If we
dies.
did.
We need a sock counter on the end of that.
So, I don't know.
Hey guys, this is Nords, also known as Thalian. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and leave a comment down below. And remember, keep spreading the mythic word.